Before doing our eyeshadow, I'm going to prime my eyelids. I'm using the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in Fair, and I'm going to blend this all over my eyelids with a damp beauty blender. I wanted to use a concealer for an eye base that was going to provide full coverage because we are going to be using bright colors on our eyes today, and I really wanted the colors to pop, so I really wanted to use a good full coverage concealer on my eyelids, and it will also prevent our eyeshadow from creasing. After I blend all that out, I'm just going to take a matte white eyeshadow and set the concealer so it won't crease. We're going to start off on our eyes with the Urban Decay Electric Palette, and I will be using Savage, a bright, hot neon pink, and with a Sigma E40 brush, I'm going to start blending this in my crease. These shades are really pigment. They're actually pressed pigments, so I started out really light with this product and just blended it out, and I slowly built this color up. As you can see, I'm focusing this in the crease, but as I go upwards, I'm using lighter motions and not so much harsh. So I'm really focusing this and really packing on the shade in my actual crease, but as I move my way up and smoke it out, I'm using like a lighter amount of pressure on the brush. I'm moving over to the Violet Voss Holy Girl palette, and I'm grabbing Wine and Dine. This is one of my favorite shades out of the palette, and with a Sigma E25 blending brush, I'm just going to focus this in my crease. I'm using soft circular motions to really blend this out. I'm, really focusing this in the crease, but again, I'm using a lighter amount of pressure as I move my way up because I don't want it to be too harsh, but I really want to focus the color in the actual crease area instead of applying it harsh up by my brow bone. So if you could see what I mean, it's kind of creating a gradient effect when you use a lighter amount of pressure as you go upwards. Now I'm going to use my Tarte Pro palette. I'm using the shade Drama. It's a nice deep plum shade, and on a Sigma E25 blending brush, I'm going to pat this color in the place that I want it and use soft circular motions. I'm applying it on my outer lid area, and then I'm slowly building it up into the crease. I didn't bring it up into the crease too high, but mainly brought it up into the lower crease area. I just really wanted to add some definition to the look. Now I'm taking Vamp from that Tarte palette, and I'm using a MAC 217 to apply this in my outer crease area. I really wanted to add more definition to the eyes, so I felt like this deep purple really did what I needed it to do. So I'm just applying that, tapping it where I need it, and then using soft circular motions to blend it out. Now I'm going to go back into Savage from the Urban Decay Electric Palette, and with a Sigma E25 blending brush, I'm blending out the edges of the eyeshadow on the top area and then also on the sides, just to make sure that nothing is too harsh because smoky eyes can get pretty messy. So next I took some concealer and I carved out my eyelids. I wanted to clean up and also map out an area where our pigment is going to go on our eyelids. So I went ahead and did about a little bit over half of my eyelid with concealer, and then I went in with my NYX glitter primer and I applied that all over my eyelids with the Sigma F70 brush. And now I'm going to go into the NYX pigment. This is in yellow gold, and I sprayed an e.l.f. professional concealer brush with some setting spray to help the pigment stick onto the brush, and I applied this where I applied the concealer. This pigment was actually really pigmented. It was a very nice yellow, and it was just a very nice touch-up color to this look, and I felt like that the yellow paired perfectly with these tones that we used in our crease. So I'm packing that on. It took quite a bit of product, but I really like the end result and the finish of this pigment. Now I'm going to go into the NYX Prismatic Shadow in Gilded, and I'm going to spray a smudger brush from Eco Tools with a little bit of setting spray, and I'm going to apply this over the yellow pigment on our eyelids. I wanted to give the pigment a little bit more of a metallic shimmery finish, and this Prismatic Shadow did just that and did just exactly what I needed it to. Now I'm going to go back into the Tarte Pro, and I'm using Vamp And with a MAC 217, I'm going to blend this purple around the edge of the yellow so that they blend nicely together. And I wanted to bring the purple a little bit more inwards and over into the eyelid because we didn't have the purple coming in that far, but the yellow didn't really come out as far as to meet the purple. So I wanted to bring the purple inwards, if that makes sense. I'm going to go back into Savage from the Electric Palette, and using a Sigma E40 blending brush, I'm just blending out the edges of the shadow one more time. But since we went in with a darker color again, I wanted to make sure that we're keeping everything nice and blended. I'm going to go in with a makeup wipe and just clean up all the fallout underneath my eyes. We're about to do foundation, so I wanted to be really clean under there. And I also went ahead and cleaned up the edges of the eyeshadow and gave it a really nice crisp line. I'm going to go ahead and prime my face for foundation. I'm using the new Milani Prime Light Foundation Primer. This is going to give you a really nice dewy finish to your skin. So if you want a dewy finish to your foundation, but you want to stay in an affordable price range, then I would definitely check this one out because it gives you a nice glowy finish. For my foundation, I'll be using the new L'Oreal Infallible Total Cover Foundation, and I actually have a first impressions on this foundation, which I will have down in this description box below, but I'm just going to blend this out with my damp beauty blender. I wanted nice full coverage, so I went in with this foundation. For concealer, I'm going to use my LA Girl Pro Conceal in Porcelain, and I'm just going to apply this underneath my eyes to conceal my under eye circles and to just give a nice under eye highlight. And I'm also just going to apply this on my chin, nose, and forehead to add additional highlighting as well. I'm going to go ahead and blend it out with my little micro beauty blender. I was laughing because these are so tiny. It did take forever to blend out my concealer with this, but it was actually kind of fun to use. I think that I would prefer my big beauty blender because I feel like it can blend a little bit more efficiently, but I did go back into my regular beauty blender to blend out my nose highlight and then also some concealer in my forehead. I'm going to set my concealer with my Airspun translucent base powder, and I'm just going to actually apply it with my little micro beauty blender, and I'm just going to apply that underneath my eyes to set the concealer, and I'm also going to do a little bit of baking. I'm going to contour, and I'm going to use my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. And to contour, I'll be using my Sigma F05 small contour brush to chisel out my cheekbones. I also like to take a small amount of bronzer and just apply it around my hairline and along the jawline and also down the neck just to give a little bit of warmth to the skin and just do a little bit of bronzing. I'm going to take my Airspun powder and with a BH Cosmetics number 115 pointed foundation brush, I'm just going to apply this underneath my contour to clean it up, and I'm also going to let it sit there and bake. I'm going to apply a little bit of eyeliner in my waterline. It's the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eyeliner. I will have it linked below. I felt like it was very appropriate to use a purple eyeliner since we used a lot of purples in our eyes, so I went with a purple eyeliner. So now I'm going to go into the Tarte Tarteist Pro palette, and I'll be using the shade Mod, and I'm going to smoke out the bottom lash line with the Sigma E55 eye shading brush. Now I'm going to move on to lashes. I feel like it was perfect time to allow the translucent powder to bake, so I went ahead and moved on to lashes. I'm just going to curl them. My eyelashes are pretty flat. They don't have a natural curl to them, so I wanted to go ahead and curl them because we're about to apply mascara. For mascara, I'll actually be using the L'Oreal Telescopic Mascara in Carbon Black. This is a good mascara to use and to apply before you apply false lashes because it's a really thin mascara and it doesn't cake up on the lashes. And especially since you don't need much mascara when you're wearing false lashes, it's just good to wear a thin mascara. I'm going to be trying out some new lashes. It's the Kiss Lash Couture lashes. These are like the mink lashes, and they are in the style Gala. And I'm just going to apply these. They are really nice and fluffy, and they just look like so high, like they look like they just have such high quality. And I was really just impressed by these lashes. They were nice and fluffy, so I really like how they look, and they're probably my current favorite lashes at the moment. I'm going to take Urban Decay's Blackout on a MAC 217, and I wanted to add a little bit of intensity to the look. I don't know. When I put on my lashes, I feel like it needed something, so I went ahead and applied a very light amount of this color. I didn't want it to overpower the purple, but I just needed just a little bit, and since this color is so pigmented, it didn't take much. So now I'm going to go ahead and dust away all of the translucent powder, and to do that, I'll be using my Sigma F25 tapered face brush. This is perfect for dusting away translucent powder, and now our concealer is set in place for the day, so we're all good to go. We're baked and we're just set and we're ready to go. So I'm going to be highlighting. I'm using my Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Kit and Gleam, and I'll be using Crushed Pearl, and I'm using a Sigma tapered highlighter brush to apply that. And then I like to apply a little bit of the highlighter with the same highlighter brush that I used to apply it on my cheekbones onto my Cupid's bow, and then I'll use my finger to apply a little bit of it on my nose to add some additional glow to the skin. Now I'm going to apply blush. I'm using Milani's Luminoso blush, and I'm going to be applying that with a Sigma F10 powder / blush brush. Now I'm actually going to be using a Line Crime Velveteen little collection that I got for Christmas, and I'm going to be using the shade Happy. This is a beautiful pink dusty rose duochrome metallic lip, and I thought that it would actually be perfect for this look. I hadn't used it at that point, and I really wanted to try it, so I feel like this was the perfect opportunity to apply it. Since we use pinks in our crease, I feel like it'd be nice to go with something light, but also something that would pop on our lips. So then I also set my makeup with a Wet n Wild setting spray, and then that is the completed look. I hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial and this look. I had so much fun doing this look. It's definitely a very fun and colorful look. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please do not forget to subscribe. There's a button on the screen where it is really easy to subscribe, and you can also watch my newest video, which is on the screen on the right side as well. I hope that you guys enjoyed again, and thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Bye guys!